Today, we're going to take a look at upgrading to the Overdrive pedal system on the non-Overdrive ready Lure 2. This video only covers the installation of the drive. For information on drive maintenance and setting up your Overdrive, please check out the video in the description below. Before we get started, you're going to need a few tools to complete the job. First, the following tools are included with the Overdrive upgrade parts: an 8mm wrench and a 2.5mm Allen key. You will need to provide the following tools: a power drill with a 1/4 inch, a 3/16 inch, and a 3/32 drill bit, a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, a marker, some masking tape, a needle nose pliers, a size 6 Allen key, a piece of wire, some vice grips, a pair of locking vice grips, a lighter, and a hammer. To begin, the Overdrive can only be installed in the rear cockpit of the Lure 2. Start prepping your kayak for the installation by removing the sonar pod, the stand-up leash, and the seat. Then unscrew the sonar pod button, the sonar pod latch, and the footrests. If you have a rudder connected already, cut the wire and remove the toe pivots. Finally, remove the seat hardware and you're ready to start the installation. Start by removing the rod holders to gain access to the inside of the hull. Then, use the vice grips to pull the rudder tube on the right side of the kayak out so you can cut the tube. Fill the resulting hole with one of the plugs that comes with the install kit. Now pull the tube out of the back as shown. Feed the new rudder tube through the hole on the back of the kayak. Then take the wire and fish the tube out of the kayak so it's sticking out of the rod holder on the left side. It's very helpful to mark this tube with a piece of tape so you can tell the difference between the right and left sides of the kayak. Now repeat the process on the left side by pulling the tube out, cutting it, plugging the hole, and fishing it out of the rod holder, so we can rerun the tubes for the 8-ball steering kit. Locate the sidewall on the left side of the kayak in front of the rear mounting bar. Then mark and drill 2 holes with the 1/4 inch drill bit, about a 1/2 inch apart, and 1 inch from the top of the kayak as shown. Run that wire through the first tube so you can pull them back through the drilled hole together as shown. It may help to tape them together for this step. Utilizing the locking vice grips, pull the tube through the hole with enough slack to provide room for the end cap and trim it off. Heat the tube with a lighter to soften it and insert the end cap. Release the vice grip and tap it into place so that it is flush with the edge of the kayak as shown. Repeat this process for both sides. Run the shorter rudder cable tube segments provided through the cable tube holder and place it about halfway between the indentations on the left side of the kayak as shown, and screw the cable tube holder into place using the screw provided. Now locate the metal 8-ball steering bracket, which may come attached to the steering unit. Align the bracket with the edges of the kayak as shown and pre-drill the holes utilizing the bracket as a template, and then screw it into place with the screws provided. Then attach the 8-ball handle to the bracket and feed the rudder cables through the short tubes into the newly installed internal tubes until they come out of the back of the kayak. Next, let's install the Beavertail rudder. First, tap the rudder sleeve into the molded rudder hole on the back of the kayak. Then, set the thin washer on the top of the rudder sleeve and put the rudder on top of that. Place the thick washer on the bottom of the rudder as shown and feed the rudder pin through all of these parts until you can screw it into the rudder and tighten with a Phillips head screwdriver. Finally, attach the R-clip to the rudder pin as shown and the rudder is installed. Rotate the 8-ball handle into the up position, straighten it into the middle position, and tighten the tension knob. Loosen the grub screws on the rudder and run the rudder cables through it. Make sure the rudder is centered and tighten the grub screws to hold the cables in place. Trim the cables with a pair of wire cutters to your preferred length, but be sure to leave a little excess in case of adjustments in the future. Now add the cable crimps to the end of the rudder cables and crimp into place. Finally, install the uphaul cord cleat on the right side of the kayak in the molded indentation. Pre-drill using a 3/32 drill bit to screw it into place. Now run the uphaul cord from the rudder over the rear wheel and under the front wheel as shown, and feed it through the kayak. This part can be tricky, and it helps to straighten the first few inches of the cord as much as you can and have a finely trimmed end to help it slide through the tube. Tie the ball onto the uphaul cord at the desired length and trim the excess. Next, let's install the seat extension. Attach the foam pads to the bottom of the extension rail by removing the sticker and pressing into place. Place the seat adjuster on the deck of the boat as shown and attach the new seat hardware to the existing threads. Now it's time to assemble the seat. Tolerances in the seat tubing may vary, so you may need to apply a small amount of tape to the bolt sleeves as shown. Slide them into place in the seat and then flip the seat into place. Using the provided screws and washers, attach the seat to the adjustment bracket at the desired distance and tighten into place with a size 8 Allen key. Next, let's install the fit kit in the sonar area. Start by attaching the bracket with the provided bolts into the pre-installed sleeves as shown. Then, pre-drill the top holes with the 3/16 drill bit and then add the screws to secure it into place. Now slide the overdrive in and make sure that it holds into place. Then attach the Z-hook to the deck of the boat and the overdrive, and the drive should be secure. Again, to see how to deploy, use, and maintain the overdrive unit, check out the link in the description below. And that's it. Your Feelfree Lure 2 is officially powered by the Overdrive system. If you have any questions, please check with your local dealer or head on over to feelfreeus.com.